When you wake up with purpose, everything about your day changes. Most people open their eyes in the morning because the alarm clock told them to. They drag themselves out of bed, still half asleep, moving without energy or excitement. They live on autopilot, just surviving, waiting for the day to be over. But when you wake up with purpose, your feet hit the ground differently, your energy shifts. You don't need an alarm clock because your vision is your alarm. Your dream shakes you awake. Your hunger won't let you sleep in. Purpose is the fire inside you that pushes you when nothing else does. You gotta stop waking up like it's just another day. It's not just another Monday, not just another week, not just another week, not just another chance to go through the motions. Every single day is an opportunity to move closer to your destiny. The lion doesn't get up because it's told to. The lion gets up because there's something it has to do. When the lion rises, it knows there's food to be hunted, territory to be protected, a pride to provide for. The lion rises with a reason, and you've got to rise the same way. You can't afford to move without direction. Without purpose, life feels empty, boring, meaningless. But the moment you discover your why, everything transforms. The truth is, most people don't fail because they don't have talent or opportunity. They fail because they don't have a purpose big enough to drive them. You can be strong, smart, and skilled. But if you don't know why you're waking up, you'll keep hitting snooze. You'll keep postponing your greatness. But when you know why you're waking up, nothing can stop you. You don't complain about being tired because your purpose is greater than your fatigue. You don't waste time scrolling endlessly on your phone because your mission is more urgent than distractions. Purpose gives you focus. It gives you discipline. It pulls you out of comfort and into growth. Think about the mornings you've been truly excited for something. Maybe a trip. Maybe the first day of a new job. Maybe an event you've been waiting for. Notice how easy it was to wake up that day. You didn't drag yourself out of bed, you jumped. That's what purpose does. It excites you, it energizes you, it fuels you. Imagine living every single day like that. Imagine every morning feeling like you got something powerful waiting for you. That's what happens when you live on purpose. Now, let me be clear. Waking up with purpose doesn't mean every day is easy. It doesn't mean you won't feel tired, stressed, or frustrated. It means that no matter how you feel, your why is strong enough to push you forward. The lion doesn't always feel like hunting, but it hunts anyway. Why? Because it has a mission. It has to survive. It has to protect. It has to lead. You got to start thinking the same way. You may not always feel like working, studying, or grinding, but your purpose has to be stronger than your feelings. Your purpose has to remind you that your future, your family, your dreams are worth it. And understand this, waking up with purpose is a decision. Nobody can hand you your why. You've got to define it for yourself. What drives you? What keeps you awake at night? What dream makes you cry when you think about it? What vision makes your heart race when you imagine it? That's your purpose. Write it down. Keep it in front of you. Let it be the reason you rise, the reason you push, the reason you refuse to quit. Some of you are living like house cats when you're built to be lions. You've gotten comfortable with an easy routine, waiting to be fed, waiting for someone else to open the door for you. But lions don't wait. They rise with intention. They don't sit around hoping life gets better. They move with urgency to make life better. If you want to rise like a lion, you got to stop wasting morning. The morning is when you set the tone for your whole day. If you start lazy, you'll stay lazy. You'll stay lazy. But if you start strong, you'll carry that energy with you. That's why waking up with purpose is so powerful. It determines the way you live every other hour of your day. When you rise with purpose, you walk differently. People notice it. They can see the fire in your eyes, hear the conviction in your voice, feel the determination in your presence. Purpose makes you magnetic. It attracts opportunity. It inspires people. It commands respect. The world makes room for those who know where they're going. That's why so many doors are still closed for you. Not because you aren't good enough, but because you haven't been moving with purpose. The moment you start walking like you know where you're going, life starts opening doors. So tomorrow morning, when that alarm clock goes off, don't just wake up. Ask yourself, why am I getting up today? What's my mission? What's my goal? What's my hunt? And when you have that answer, don't rise slowly, don't drag yourself. Rise like a lion. Ride with urgency. When you look at the lion, you see an animal that doesn't wait for the jungle to give it permission to eat. The lion doesn't ask for someone else to share food. The lion doesn't sit back and hope that life becomes fair. The lion claims his territory. That's what makes it the king of the jungle. And if you're going to rise like the lion, you got to stop waiting for life to hand you something. You got to stop waiting for people to recognize you, to validate you, to give you an opportunity. Lions don't wait. They take. They step into their space and they dominate it. The moment the lion shows up, everything else in the jungle adjusts. That's what happens when you claim your territory. You stop adjusting to the world and the world starts adjusting to you. So many of you are living life like spectators, watching other people chase their dreams, applauding other people's victories, scrolling through other people's highlights. You're watching everybody else claim their territory while you're standing on the sidelines. But you were not created to just watch. You were created to hunt, to conquer, to lead. Your dreams, your goals, your purpose, they're your territory. Nobody is going to hand them to you. You got to step up and claim them. Think about it. The zebra, the gazelle, the wildebeest. They don't just walk up to the lion and offer themselves. The lion hunts them down. The lion makes the decision that today, I will eat. And once that decision is made, nothing else matters. Distractions don't matter, obstacles don't matter, fear doesn't matter. The lion locks in. And until the hunt is complete, it doesn't stop. That's the mindset you need. Once you decide that this goal, this dream, this space belongs to me, you can't hesitate. You can't pause. You can't doubt. You got to move with absolute conviction. Some of you are frustrated right now because you're waiting for someone to promote you, to notice you, to bless you with a chance. But hear me, opportunities are not given. They're seized. Your territory is not something that will fall into your lap. You've got to go out there and fight for it. It might mean working while others are sleeping. It might mean studying while others are partying. It might mean sacrificing while others are comfortable. But that's how you claim what's yours. The lion doesn't complain about the chase. The chase is the price for the meal. And the question is, are you willing to pay the price for your dream? When you claim your territory, you draw a line and say, this is mine. You stop letting other people define your limits. You stop letting society dictate how far you can go. You stop letting fear whisper that you're not enough. Claiming territory is about ownership. It's about saying, this is my life, my vision, my calling, and I'm not handing it over to anyone. Too many people are letting their territory be stolen by doubt, stolen by procrastination, stolen by excuses. But lions don't surrender ground. Lions fight for every inch. And if you're serious about your future, you got to fight for it too. The beauty of claiming your territory is that once you do, nobody can take it from you. The lion doesn't apologize for being the king. It doesn't shrink back because other animals are afraid. It stands tall because it knows who it is. You got to stop apologizing for wanting more. Stop shrinking your vision to make other people comfortable. Stop pretending you're satisfied when you know deep down you're not. If you want to claim your territory, you got to rise with boldness and say, this is what I was born for, and I refuse to settle for less. And don't miss this. Your territory is not just about physical space. It's about your mind, your habits, your discipline. You've got to claim the territory of your own thoughts. Stop letting negativity run wild in your head. Stop letting fear, doubt, and insecurity camp out in your spirit. Take ownership of your mind. Take ownership of your time. Take ownership of your grind. Because before you can dominate out there, you got to dominate in here. Once the lion makes the decision in its mind, the body follows. Once you win in your mind, the rest of life starts aligning. Inside every lion, there's a sound that shakes the jungle. The roar of the lion isn't just noise. It's power, it's authority, it's dominance. When the lion roars, it tells the jungle, I am here. This is my territory, respect it. The roar sets the tone. It lets everything around know that the king has risen. And for you, your roar is your voice, your confidence, your presence, your ability to step into the world and let it know that you belong. Too many of you have been silent for too long. You've been whispering your dreams when you should be roaring them. You've been hiding your gifts, tucking your talents away, playing small so that nobody feels uncomfortable. But lions don't whisper. Lions don't shrink. Lions don't apologize for being loud. They roar because it's who they are. When you unleash your roar, you stop asking the world for permission. You stop waiting for validation. You stop looking for approval. You rise with certainty and declare who you are. You've got a voice, you've got a gift, you've got something inside of you that was put there for a reason. But if you keep it bottled up, the world will never know. Some of you are frustrated because people don't see your value. But the truth is, you've never roared. You've never stepped up and said, this is me. This is what I bring. This is what I stand for. Until you unleash your roar, you'll always feel overlooked. Think about the roar it carries. It echoes. It can be heard from miles away. That's how your life should be. Your actions, your words, your energy should echo in every room you step into. When you walk in, people should feel your presence before you even speak. That's what happens when you stop hiding and start living boldly. But you can't roar if you're worried about what everybody thinks. You can't roar if you're scared of judgment. Lions don't check the opinions of hyenas before they roar. They just do it. And that's what you need to understand. Your roar isn't for approval, it's for declaration. Your roar is your truth. It's your passion. It's your conviction. When you unleash it, you give others permission to find theirs. When you speak with power, when you act with confidence, you inspire people who have been quiet too long. But if you keep holding back, you not only cheat yourself, you cheat everyone who was supposed to be impacted by your courage. Somebody out there needs to hear your roar. Somebody out there is waiting for your story, your gift, your vision to wake them up. And if you stay silent, they may never rise. Understand this, unleashing your roar doesn't always mean being the loudest in the room. It means being the most authentic. It means speaking up when it's easier to stay quiet. It means standing for your values even when it's unpopular. It means showing the world your true self without apology. Your roar is not about volume, it's about power. Some roars come through art, some through business, some through leadership, some through teaching, some through innovation. Whatever your roar is, you can't keep it locked inside. Too many of you are living like caged lions, tall, full, gifted, but trapped behind fear, doubt, and insecurity. You've convinced yourself that it's safer to stay quiet, safer to blend in, safer to not make waves. But the cage wasn't built for you. You weren't born to be silent. You were born to be heard. And the moment you decide to step out of that cage and unleash your roar, the jungle shifts. People notice the atmosphere changes, doors open, because the world responds to confidence, to certainty, to boldness. And here's the truth. Your roar won't always be accepted. Some people will be intimidated by it. Some will criticize it. Some will try to silence it. But that's not your problem. Lions don't lower their roar because some animals don't like it. They keep roaring because it's who they are. You got to do the same. Stop lowering your volume to make others comfortable. Stop holding back your greatness because people might not understand. Those who are meant to hear your roar will hear it. Those who aren't don't matter. The longer you hold back your roar, the weaker your spirit becomes. Silence suffocates potential. Suppression kills dreams. But when you finally open your mouth, when you finally live out loud, something awakens inside of you. You feel free. You feel powerful. You feel alive. That's what the roar does. It liberates you. It reminds you of who you are. It reclaims the authority that fear tried to steal from you. And listen carefully. Your roar has timing. Lions don't roar all day, but when they do, it matters. The roar comes at the right moment, and it makes the right impact. You don't have to be loud all the time. You don't have to prove yourself constantly. But when it's time to step up, when it's time to speak, when it's time to act, you can't hesitate. That's when your roar has to come out. Discipline is what separates the lion from every other animal in the jungle. Power without discipline is wasted energy. Strength without discipline is chaos. And talent without discipline is potential that never becomes reality. The lion doesn't just attack randomly. It studies, it waits, it times a strike. Discipline is what gives the lion its edge. And if you're going to rise like the lion, you need the same control in your life. Too many people confuse motivation with discipline. Motivation is a feeling. Discipline is a decision. Motivation might get you started, but discipline is what keeps you moving when the feeling is gone. There are days when the lion doesn't feel like hunting, but it hunts anyway because it understands that survival depends on consistency. And you've got to realize the same thing. Your dreams, your goals, your future will not survive without discipline. Discipline means doing what needs to be done even when you don't want to do it. Discipline means saying no when distractions show up. Discipline means showing up early, staying late, and putting in the work even when nobody is watching. Discipline is the bridge between the vision you see in your head and the reality you want to live in. The problem with many people is that they chase results without embracing discipline. They want the crown, but not the grind. They want the success, but not the structure. But lions don't get to eat every time they chase. Sometimes they miss. Sometimes the hunt fails. But they don't give up. They don't cry about it. They prepare again. They strategize again. They go after it again. That's discipline, showing up even after failure, refusing to let setbacks define you. You may not win every day, but if you stay disciplined, eventually the jungle bends to your persistence. Understand that discipline is freedom. People think discipline is restriction, but the opposite is true. When you're disciplined, you control your time instead of wasting it. You control your energy instead of scattering it. You control your future instead of leaving it to chance. Discipline allows you to rise above average. Average people do what they feel like doing, thus be done. That's why average people get average results while lions dominate. You've got to master the small disciplines before you can handle the big ones. Waking up early, managing your time, sticking to your word, finishing what you start. These little habits create the foundation for greatness. If you can't control your mornings, you can't control your life. If you can't control your appetite, your money, your emotions, you won't be able to control your destiny. Lions don't waste energy chasing every little thing that moves. They conserve their energy. They calculate their steps. They use discipline to maximize their power. Some of you are talented but undisciplined. You've got the potential to be great, but because you lack structure, you keep falling short. Talent will open doors, but discipline will keep you in the room. Talent may get you noticed, but discipline will make you respected. The lion isn't respected because of raw strength alone. It's respected because of the consistent way it shows up. Discipline builds trust. Discipline builds legacy. Discipline builds greatness. And don't think discipline means perfection. Discipline means persistence. Discipline means staying committed even when you slip. The lion doesn't win every hunt, but it never quits hunting. You might miss the mark. You might fail. You might fall. But if you're disciplined enough to get back up and keep moving, you'll still rise. Discipline is not about never stumbling. It's about never staying down. Discipline also requires sacrifice. You can't have it all. You can't eat like everyone, sleep like everyone, and still expect to rule like a lion. To move with discipline, you've got to be willing to let go of comfort, let go of distractions, let go of anything that keeps you from the mission. The lion is not distracted by every sound in the jungle. Its focus is locked in on the target. You've got to learn to focus the same way. Block out the noise. Block out the negativity. Block out the excuses. Discipline is tunnel vision. Seeing only the goal and refusing to be pulled away from it. When you move with discipline, people may not understand you. They may call you obsessed, strict, too focused. But obsession in the right direction is what changes the world. Nobody remembers the people who live casually. The names that echo through history are the ones who are disciplined enough to stay committed when others quit. Discipline makes you dangerous because it gives you an edge most people don't have. Anyone can be talented, but not everyone can be disciplined. That's why lions are rare. And here's the truth. Discipline is not something you're born with. It's something you build. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Struggle is the part of the process most people run from, but it's the very thing that shapes a lion into who it is. The lion doesn't become strong by sleeping all day. It becomes strong by fighting, by hunting, by pushing through the heat, through the fatigue, through the failures. Struggle is not punishment, it's preparation. Every scar on a lion's body is a reminder of battles fought and battles won. And in the same way, every hardship you've been through has been training you for something greater. But the problem with too many people is that they view struggle as a signal to quit instead of a signal to grow. The lion doesn't see hunger as suffering. It sees hunger as motivation to hunt. You've got to rewire your perspective and see every obstacle as an opportunity to build strength. Every single time you struggle, you're given a choice. You can either let it break you or you can let it build you. Most people complain in the face of struggle. They cry, they fold, they talk about how unfair life is. But lions don't waste energy complaining. They channel that energy into action. They use adversity as fuel. That's why they rise to the top. The truth is, struggle introduces you to the real version of yourself. You don't know your strength until you've been tested. You don't know your resilience until you've been knocked down and had to get back up. Struggle is life's way of showing you what you're really made of. Think about the hardest moments you faced. The disappointments, the losses, the pain. At the time, you may have thought those moments would destroy you. But look at you now. You survived. You learned. You grew. That struggle gave you wisdom, gave you grit, gave you perspective. That's what struggle does. It equips you with tools that ease cannot provide. Ease teaches you nothing. Comfort doesn't develop character. Growth never comes from staying in a soft, safe place. The lion isn't respected because life was easy for it. The lion is respected because it endured, it fought, and it overcame. Turning struggle into strength means shifting from asking why me to asking what can I learn? It means refusing to let pain go to waste. Every time you struggle, you're collecting experiences, building endurance, strengthening your heart. The lion that misses the kill doesn't starve immediately. It learns to hunt better, faster, smarter. It sharpens its instincts. In the same way, every failure you faced wasn't final. It was teaching you how to win the next round. You've got to be willing to see your failures as feedback and your struggles as lessons. You can't run from struggle and expect to be strong. Strength is the byproduct of resistance. Just like muscles don't grow without weight, your spirit doesn't grow without struggle. Every obstacle is a weight added to your bar. Every hardship is resistance training for your soul. You've got to push against it, sweat through it, fight through it, because that's how you grow. Struggle is not your enemy, it's your gym. The more you live, the stronger you become. And one day what used to break you will feel light, easy, effortless. That's the reward of endurance. Some of you keep asking for an easy life, but if life were easy, you would stay weak. Lions don't ask for easy. They embrace the hard. They welcome the hunt. They understand that the struggle is what keeps them sharp, what keeps them alive, what keeps them at the top of the food chain. You've got to shift your mindset. Stop praying for the struggle to disappear and start praying for the strength to endure it. Stop wishing for life to get easier and start working to get better. Struggle is not blocking you, it's building you. And here's the truth. People respect strength that comes from struggle. When you rise after setbacks, when you keep pushing despite opposition, when you smile after pain, people see your resilience and they're inspired by it. Your scars become your story. Your wounds become your wisdom. Your struggle becomes your testimony. The lion doesn't hide his scars. It wears them proudly because they prove survival, they prove power, they prove experience. You should never be ashamed of what you've been through. Those battles are proof that you're still here, still fighting, still rising, still rising. Turning struggle into strength also means using what you've learned to help others. Lions hunt not just for themselves, but for the pride. The lessons you gain through your pain are not just for you. They're for someone else who needs guidance, someone who needs hope, someone who needs proof that victory is possible. Your strength becomes their blueprint. Your perseverance becomes their motivation. When you transform your struggle into strength, you don't just rise alone. You lift others with you. The lion doesn't just rise for itself. It rises for the pride. When the lion hunts, when the lion defends its territory, when the lion roars, it's not only about survival, it's about protection. The lion understands that its role is bigger than its own stomach, bigger than its own comfort, bigger than its own glory. It carries the weight of the pride on its shoulders. And that's what separates leaders from followers. If you want to rise like a lion, you've got to understand that your grind, your discipline, your sacrifice is not just for you. It's for your family, your team, your community, for those who depend on you. Protecting your pack means living with responsibility. Too many people today are only focused on themselves. They chase success for selfish reasons. They dream small because their vision only covers their own needs. But lions don't think like that. The lion rises knowing that if it doesn't hunt, the cubs go hungry. If it doesn't fight, the pride is vulnerable. That sense of duty drives it to move when it doesn't feel like moving, to fight when it doesn't feel like fighting. You've got to adopt that same mindset. Your success isn't just about you. It's about everyone connected to you. Every time you slack, somebody else feels the cost. Every time you quit, somebody else loses the benefit. When you protect your pack, you live with a new kind of fire, because now you're not just grinding for yourself, you're grinding for those who can't. Think about it. Yeah. The lioness hunts tirelessly, not for herself alone, but so the pride can eat. She will risk her life chasing prey that could kill her, all because the pack depends on her. That's the level of selflessness and courage you need. There are people waiting on you to rise. They may never tell you, they may never say it out loud, but they're depending on your discipline, your consistency, your faith. Protecting your pack means showing up when you don't feel like it because someone else needs you to show up. And don't get it twisted. Protecting your pack doesn't always mean fighting enemies. Sometimes it means protecting them from themselves. It means setting the standard in your home, in your circle, in your team. It means saying no to mediocrity so others don't fall into it. It means teaching discipline, modeling hard work, showing what it looks like to keep going when life gets hard. Protecting your pack means being an example. Lions lead by action. They don't give speeches to the cub. They show the cubs how to hunt, how to survive, how to rise. In the same way, you can't just talk about success. You gotta live it so others can follow. Some of you don't realize that your actions are influencing more people than you think. Your younger siblings are watching. Your kids are watching. Your friends are watching. Oh, the people in your workplace are watching. Whether you know it or not, they're learning from how you handle life. If you quit, they see quitting as an option. If you complain, they see complaining as normal. But if you rise, if you push, if you protect your pack with courage, they learn what it looks like to fight for something bigger than yourself. Protecting your pack also means creating safety. The lion doesn't tolerate threats. It doesn't let predators or rivals come near the pride without facing consequences. You gotta do the same in your life. Protect your pack from toxic people, negative environments, destructive habits. Guard your family, your team, your vision from anything that tries to weaken it. Protecting your pack means being the shield when necessary, standing in the gap when others are vulnerable. Sometimes that means having hard conversations. Sometimes that means removing harmful influences. Sometimes that means stepping into battles others are too weak to fight. That's what real leadership looks like. But protecting your pack isn't only about defense. It's about provision. The lion doesn't just chase away threats. It ensures there's food on the table. You can't just keep your people safe. You gotta help them grow, help them eat, help them rise. Protecting your pack means working hard, not just to achieve for yourself, but to provide opportunities for others. It means building a legacy, something your children and their children can stand on. It means planting seeds now so your pack can harvest later. And here's the thing, when you live for your pack, you unlock a deeper level of strength. When it's just about you, you can quit easily. But when you know others are counting on you, quitting is no longer an option. That's why lions fight so hard, because they know their pride is behind. When you realize that your grind is connected to your family's future, to your community's hope, to your team's success, you start operating with urgency. You stop playing small. You stop making excuses. You start protecting your pack with everything you've won. Fear is the one thing that keeps most people from rising, but it's the very thing the lion refuses to bow to. When the lion steps into the jungle, it doesn't matter how big the elephant is, how fast the gazelle runs, how loud the hyena laughs. The lion walks without fear. That doesn't mean the lion is the biggest or the strongest animal in the jungle, but it believes it is. Its mindset is different. Its confidence unshakable. That's why everything else respects it. Fear paralyzes most people. Fear makes them hesitate. Fear makes them doubt themselves. Fear makes them walk away from opportunities. But the lion knows that fear is just an illusion. Fear is not real. It only lives in the mind. And if you can control your mind, you can control fear. Walking without fear doesn't mean you won't feel it. It means you won't let it stop you. Even lions know danger exists, but they move anyway. That's courage. Moving forward in spite of the fear. Too many of you are waiting for the day when you don't feel afraid, but that day will never come. You don't conquer fear by waiting. You conquer fear by walking through it. Now, every step you take against fear weakens its power over you. Every action you take in the face of fear builds your strength. That's why the lion rules the jungle, not because fear doesn't exist, but because the lion doesn't bow to it. Fear shows up in all forms. Fear of rejection, fear of judgment, fear of not being good enough. And every single one of those fears will steal your destiny if you let them. How many dreams have died because someone was afraid to try? How many businesses never started because someone was afraid of failing? How many relationships never began because someone was afraid of rejection? Fear is a thief, and if you don't confront it, it will rob you of everything you were meant to have. The lion knows this truth instinctively, so it chooses to walk boldly. That's the choice you need to make, walk boldly, even if you're shaking on the inside. Think about this. The animals that are bigger and stronger than the lion still fear it. Why? Because of the way it carries itself? The lion doesn't run. The lion doesn't panic. The lion doesn't act timid. It walks with confidence, and that confidence shifts the atmosphere. In the same way, people around you will respond to the way you carry yourself. If you walk timid, if you walk scared, the world will treat you like prey. But if you walk with confidence, if you walk like you belong, if you walk like you own the space, the world will treat you like the lion you are. Walking without fear means owning your identity. Too many people live in fear because they've forgotten who they are. They measure themselves against others instead of realizing their own power. The lion doesn't measure itself against the elephant or the cheetah. It knows exactly who it is. It knows its role, its strength, its authority. And that's why it walks with boldness. You've got to remind yourself of who you are. You're not average. You're not weak. You're not here to live small. You got potential, power, and purpose inside of you. But until you believe that, you'll always let fear control you. Fear tries to keep you comfortable, but comfort kills growth. If the lion stayed in the den because it feared the jungle, it would starve. You gotta be willing to step out of your comfort zone, to face uncertainty, to embrace risk. Every time you stretch yourself beyond what's comfortable, you grow. Every time you step into something that scares you, you expand your limits. Fear is not a wall to stop you. It's a doorway to your next level. On the other side of fear is everything you want, but you'll never know if you don't walk through it. Walking without fear also means accepting failure as part of the process. Fear keeps you paralyzed because it convinces you that failing is the end. But lions miss hunts all the time. Failure doesn't destroy them, it teaches them. They adjust, they adapt, they try again. You've got to stop letting failure scare you away. Failure is feedback. Failure is training. Failure is proof that you're in the arena, that you're taking shots, that you're moving forward. The only real failure is quitting. As long as you keep walking, as long as you keep rising, fear can't win. And listen, walking without fear doesn't just affect you, it affects everyone around you. When the lion walks boldly, the cubs follow. They learn confidence by watching it. Your children, your friends, your team, they're all watching how you move. If you walk timid, they'll learn to shrink. If you walk with courage, they'll learn to rise. Protecting your pack, leading your pride, starts with showing them how to walk without fear. Your boldness becomes their blueprint. The truth is, you'll never outrun fear, but you can outwalk it. When you step into your jungle, you've got to understand one thing. You weren't created to blend in, you were created to dominate. Every single one of us has a space, a lane, a field of influence. And the problem with most people is that they're playing too small in a space that was meant to be theirs. The lion doesn't walk in the jungle asking permission to exist. The lion doesn't look around to see who approves. The lion knows this is his jungle and it acts accordingly. That's the mindset you need if you're ever going to rise to the level of greatness you were designed for. You don't tiptoe in your jungle. You don't apologize for your roar. You stand firm. You move strong and you dominate. Domination is not arrogance. It's alignment. When you walk in your calling, when you use your gifts, when you step into the zone you were built for, domination is the natural outcome. A lion doesn't dominate the jungle because it's the fastest or the largest. The cheetah is faster. The elephant is bigger. The giraffe is taller. But the lion dominates because it owns its identity and refuses to play small. Too many people spend their lives comparing themselves to others and shrinking because they think they don't measure up. Stop looking at what someone else has. Stop telling yourself you're not smart enough, not strong enough, not talented enough. The lion dominates because it believes it's the king. What you believe about yourself will determine how you move in your jungle. When you dominate, you stop surviving and start thriving. Survival is about getting by, about just making it through the day, about doing enough to exist. Domination is about maximizing, about pushing your potential, about squeezing everything out of the opportunities in front of you. Domination is about setting the tone instead of reacting to it. Most people spend their lives reacting to circumstances, reacting to problems, reacting to other people's expectations. But when you dominate, you dictate, you shape the environment, you create the opportunities. You establish the standard. That's why the lion's roar shifts the whole jungle. Because the lion dictates, it doesn't wait to be dictated to. Domination requires preparation. The lion doesn't dominate the jungle by accident. It trains, it hunts, it stays sharp. Too many of you want to dominate without preparation. You want the championship without practice. You want success without sacrifice. You want recognition without consistency. But domination comes from the daily grind. It comes from the early mornings, the late nights, the sweat, the tears, the discipline nobody sees. Domination is earned when no one's watching, so that when everyone's watching, you can't be denied. And domination doesn't mean destroying others. It means being the best version of yourself so strongly that nothing can stop you. The lion doesn't waste energy trying to be an elephant or a cheetah or a zebra. It focuses on being the lion. Domination is staying in your lane and mastering it. Whatever your jungle is, sports, business, school, family, art, leadership, you've got to own it. Stop dabbling, stop half-stepping, stop treating your gift like a hobby. Own it. Be relentless. Be so good they can't ignore you. Be so consistent they can't replace you. Be so focused they can't compete with you. That's domination. The jungle doesn't give you anything. You got to take it. Opportunities won't fall in your lap. You got to hunt them down. Domination is proactive, not passive. It's waking up every day with the mindset that this is your season, your time, your territory. It's refusing to sit back and wait for luck or chance. It's making things happen, even when the odds are stacked against you. Domination is walking into a room and shifting the energy because you prepared, you believed, and you showed up with authority. But understand this, domination comes with resistance. The moment you decide to rise up and dominate your jungle, obstacles will appear, critics will show up. Challenges will come. The antelope doesn't lie down willingly. The lion has to chase, has to fight, has to earn it. You've got to be willing to face resistance without folding. Most people retreat the moment it gets hard, but lions lean in. They see resistance as part of the process. The resistance isn't there to stop you. It's there to strengthen you, to sharpen you, to prove how badly you want it. Dominate anyway. Domination also demands consistency. Anybody can show up one day with energy, with passion, with focus. But domination is about showing up day after day, week after week, year after year. It's about being reliable, being dependable, being unshakable. The lion doesn't stop being a lion because the sun is hot or the rain is heavy. It stays the lion no matter the conditions. That's how you need to be. Steady, consistent, dominant in every season. Don't let your circumstances dictate your effort. Dominate regardless of how you feel.